Reading Brain Saver by Medical Medium, and we're on chapter 20 called Toxic Heavy Metals. In the last chapter on pharmaceuticals, we were just learning that in every single pharmaceutical, there are toxic heavy metals. So now we're gonna read a bullet point list of what kinds of toxic heavy metals there are, because there are a few. And I have my watermelon juice with me. Yum. All right, let's start reading. And this is a rather long chapter, so I'm not going to read the whole thing in one. It's unknown. Lift you up a little bit. It's unknown that toxic heavy metals are a leading cause of today's epidemic of brain dysfunction, deterioration, and disease, and that they are incredibly widespread at our fingertips in daily life. So common toxic heavy metals is mercury, toxic copper, aluminum, just like aluminum foil. That's toxic heavy metals, y'all. I used to use aluminum foil all the freaking time. So thank God I found this information. Lead, like what you write with as children, pencils, crazy. Cadmium, barium, nickel, arsenic, toxic calcium, toxic chromium, strontium. Okay, I don't recall that one actually. Strontium, uranium, toxic iron, toxic platinum, titanium, and tin. Please note this is not an exhaustive list of toxic heavy metals. Toxic heavy metals are also passed along through the bloodline via metal-contaminated sperm and egg. So generation after generation comes into this world with inherited toxic heavy metals such as mercury. Toxic heavy metals are behind some of the most life-altering brain-related and mental health symptoms and conditions of our time, from depression to obsessive compulsion disorder, also known as OCD, to Parkinson's to Alzheimer's. Toxic heavy metals are also behind many of our daily challenges and frustrations, from anger issues to anxiousness to focus and concentration issues and brain fog. Keep in mind that the medical medium definition of toxic heavy metal is any toxic metal, because any toxic metal does heavy damage upon the body. As we covered in chapter 3, your alloy brain, keeping a metal out of the toxic heavy metal category because of its weight definition undermines our understanding of the metal's damaging effects upon the body, giving it a license to harm people without any concern or worry. Including lighter metals in the toxic heavy metal definition alerts us to their ability to harm us. So now we're going to read metals in our midst. Your alloy brain also covers how toxic heavy metals tend to accumulate in our brain. Through the brain's electromagnetic field, which is meant to draw in beneficial trace minerals. It's standard to feel some skepticism about how toxic heavy metals even find their way into our bodies in the first place. Maybe we picture a wall of aluminum foil and think, how could that possibly find its way inside me? Well, one source of toxic heavy metal exposure is touch. When we pick up an aluminum can or a battery, or wear copper-based jewelry, oils from our hands and skin extract and absorb minute levels of the metals, drawing them into our derma and then deeper into our system. Oil is extremely acidic, and that acidic nature reacts to metal specifically. I need to get a pen. So I just underlined oil is extremely acidic, and that acidic nature reacts to metal specifically. because I love oil. I really love crackers, actually. Like, I really freaking love, like, those Simply Nature crackers. I love them. But I've been kind of feeling this calling to step deeper into the healing journey and to give oil up, right? To release oil from my system. Anthony Williams, who wrote this book, says oil takes around 6 months or up to 6 months to get out of the body completely, which is incredibly long. He talks about why, because it's oily. As you know, even if you use oil, like say you're frying something, trying to clean that pan or pot, sometimes you have to wash it a few times. Sometimes you have to have you got to get that Blue Dawn dish soap to really clean that baby out. So our intestines are just hella working. They're working really, really hard to clean up and sop up all that oil. And I used to put oil on everything, like everything. I used to cook everything in oil. And so this is just another journey, another step into healing that I want to take. And here at For Energy, me and my wife help people recover and help people heal from their addictions, their food addictions, maybe drug addictions, maybe they're the same thing to you, right? Any form of addiction. And I also like to keep it 100 though. I have healed some deep addictions within me, but I still have some and I'm still healing. I'm not like way up here, but I have healed significant addictions in my life using medical medium information, and now me and my partner help others heal, not just addictions, of course. We help heal symptoms and conditions, chronic or not chronic. That's our goal. We want to help people heal. We experience so much healing and so much health and wealth within just a few, I feel like it sounds dramatic, but within just a month of changing our diet, our lives changed. And we want to help people do that. Not only do we want to, we are helping people do that. So just a little shout out to myself. If you're looking to have some guidance, have somebody help you, maybe you're struggling with addiction, maybe you're struggling with a chronic illness right now, send us an email at forenergy.com, it's forenergy at gmail.com. Or find us on Instagram. I should link that. I should link my Insta. And we also just got a website today, called forenergy.com. There's not a lot on it because we just got it today, but yeah, I'm dreaming big right now. Anyway, let's get back onto the topic. This reaction means that oil corrodes and eats away at the metal, causing the metal to leach when oil touches the metal. Okay, hold up. I need a drink. Okay, that was a little bit more than I needed. Okay. An acidic chemical interaction occurs. And that's another thing. Oil is acidic. I want my body to be alkaline. I want my body to be neutral. I'm still learning about that a little bit, but I've heard about the alkaline vegan diet, and I don't agree with it 100% because I believe the alkaline vegan diet says you shouldn't have raw garlic or raw tomatoes, which I find strange, odd, and inaccurate. But for the bulk of it, I'm like, yeah, I be agreeing. Whole foods. That's what we believe in. Whole foods. An acidic chemical interaction occurs, forcing the metal to release metal byproduct molecules. We ingest toxic heavy metals too. Metal utensils, scraping metal bowls, and pans in the kitchen leads to metal shavings in our food that could be microscopic, nanoscopic, or even smaller. Which, by the way, today is just little story time. So if you with it, you with it. If you ain't, I'm sorry, y'all. But come on. If you know about Anthony Williams and you listen to his podcast, y'all are aware about them little long ass stories in the middle of the goods. And that's just how I am too. So I don't know. Yeah, so today I don't use these metal bowls. We got metal bowls because I used to use metal bowls a lot. So we got them still. I haven't like tossed them or nothing, but I don't use them. Anyway, we had so much watermelon to juice because it's watermelon season, and Tenzin put the chopped up watermelon into the metal bowl, right, overnight, and then I juiced it in the morning, this morning, and I'm like, what is that taste? I was like, something wrong with this watermelon. It tasted like metal. The watermelon tasted like metal, y'all. And I believe I'm very sensitive now to that taste because I've completely cut out metal in terms of eating it, which sounds crazy. But I quit using the aluminum foil. I quit using the silverware. I changed to bamboo. Changed to bamboo cutlery. I changed to bamboo bowls or glass. So I just don't really use bamboo no more. I changed up my aluminum foil to silicone. Like, all of this has really helped me personally heal. And so having this watermelon I couldn't even drink it. I had to throw it out. I felt terrible for my bank account. Because I was like, God, I can't drink it. I can't drink it. Yeah. When your silverware and cookware get worn down, when your knives go dull, where do you think the metal goes? The metal particles are going into your food, into your body, into your system, and can slowly accumulate into your brain. Oh my God. I never even thought about that. Yeah, like a knife goes dull, like where the hell did it go? Into the motherfucking watermelon, into that potato. Oh my God. I didn't even think about that. I do still use metal knives. I do actually use metal knives. Okay. But you know what? Actually, now thinking about it, since changing to, I do eat primarily fruitarian at this point. At least 80% of my diet is fruit. And my knives have actually lasted a really, really long time. Like, I haven't had to sharpen it in freaking forever. Interesting. Okay, never mind. I'd be talking too much. All pharmaceuticals have some level of toxic heavy metals in them. All pharmaceuticals. Some people have been taking pharmaceuticals for most of their life, and these metals build up inside the brain. Anti-anxiety, antidepressant, and stimulant medications are among the pharmaceuticals that have toxic heavy metals within them. Are y'all hearing this? Y'all hearing this right now? Anti-anxiety, antidepressants, and stimulant medications are among the pharmaceuticals that have toxic heavy metals in them. What's anxiety and depression caused by? part of that is toxic heavy metals in the brain. This is why I can't say fully I'm against the pharmaceutical industry, because I do believe it has a time and a place. But come on, taking a pill every single day, I don't know. I used to do that. I used to be that person who took my anti-anxiety and antidepressants every day. And let me tell you this, it didn't help my anxiety and it didn't help my depression. But you know what did? Changing my diet. I actually became healthy. I actually became joyful. I actually enjoyed my life. And I hated my life. Yes? He's feeling for me. I hated my... Yes? My baby boy was crying for me, so intermission to look at my bubba. Intermission on my bubba. Aren't you so cute? Are you my baby boy? You want to read about toxic heavy metals? I should make a video on how I changed my cat's diets. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to put you down and you got scared, didn't you? I'm sorry. He's here. Okay, so we left off. Hi, Bobbies. There's not really room for you on my lap, though. Holy shit, you shed it like a cat. Okay. Okay. Oh, this is what I was just saying. So the irony is that we're often using pharmaceuticals that contain toxic heavy metals to treat conditions caused by toxic heavy metals themselves. I literally just said that. I didn't even know this was in the book. Yeah. Anxiety and depression is caused by toxic heavy metals, yet we're using toxic heavy metals to cure them, to treat them, whatever we want to call it. Crazy. Literally crazy. Mercury, lead, aluminum, and copper especially are in our mints. Handling batteries, handling some varieties of light bulbs, getting or removing mercury, amalgam, how do you say that? Amalgam fillings. Y'all can tell me if I'm saying stuff wrong, because if you have been watching this from the very start, I started this to become more literate, basically, and also teach people, and yeah. Anyway, I don't have an English degree. I'm just doing this for funsies. And most all dental work involve toxic heavy metals. Every ceramic filling has metal to some degree, although less and in different forms than amalgam fillings. And fluoride is an aluminum byproduct. Why? I've asked my dentist this. I haven't gone to the dentist in literal years. I think it's been 6 years, 5 years at this point. And I started learning about health when I was 13, and I got absolutely fascinated with raw veganism, which is amazing because I'm very raw now. I'm not fully raw, but I'm very raw. And I asked my dentist, and I'm like, so I don't want you to use fluoride on my teeth. And they were like, fluoride is good for your teeth. And I'm like, no, it's not. I have done immaculate research on this. And see, that's just who I am. That's who I was. It's still who I am today. I be doing research. I be liking it, especially when I was a teen and I had nothing to do. Like, I didn't have a job. School's only part-time pretty much. It's only like 8 to 3 or whatever. I had time to do research, and I was like, no. And I stood up for myself. And my mom was proud of me that I stood up for myself. But then she was also scared because she didn't really know about health. And she's like, maybe you should just put the fluoride on your teeth. And I'm like, no, no, I will not. So anyway, I don't go to the dentist anymore because A, I know how to take care of my teeth, and B, to my knowledge, there might be some out there, absolutely, but from where I live, where I'm from, dentists don't be like the fluoride free. They don't be like holistic in any way. At least not where I am. Anywho, I did not know that fluoride was an aluminum byproduct. Eating fish, taking fish oil supplements, even the high quality ones that claim to be mercury free, are spending time swimming in lakes and other water sources are a few of the ways to encounter mercury. When it comes to toxic heavy metals in our central nervous system, there are 3 concerns. 1, past exposure to toxic heavy metals that has led to toxic heavy metal buildup in our brain. 2 is present exposure to toxic heavy metals that we can limit or avoid altogether with the awareness in this chapter. And 3, present exposure that we can't avoid and therefore want to catch before the toxic heavy metals reach our brain. Toxic heavy metals are very much a part of everyday world. A key to safeguarding yourself and your loved ones is acknowledging this, because then you can minimize new exposure while putting medical medium protocols to work to clean up the toxic heavy metals in your brain and body and repair the damage they've left behind. He's definitely going to be getting into the heavy metal detox smoothie because it's life-changing. It's incredible. Freaking incredible. Well, it looks like he's not going to be getting into it quite yet. Just doing foreplay for you guys. All right. Examples of lead exposure. Lead can get into our system through old lead pipes or lead sealers on newer pipes. And we can also be exposed through lead paint. This can happen in surprising ways. For example, lead paint chips can seep into soil, exposing us when we're gardening or growing food in contaminated soil. Many people grow gardens around their home, and lead paint chips can leach lead into soil for hundreds of years unless it's remediated. Up until the early 1980s, lead was even in the paint on pencils. So you can get exposure from handling and biting pencils, which I did. I don't know why, but I definitely was chewing on my freaking pencils. Gross. I literally had bite marks. Like, I had bite marks on my pencils as a kid. I'm like, what the hell was I biting for? Some people keep pencils around for decades in a desk drawer for a grandchild to find one day and use or even chew. Plus, there are always traces of lead in the water supply, even water that's supposedly filtered in restaurants and coffee shops. There's even lead in fish, especially freshwater fish. Luckily, I have had very, very, very little amount of fish in my life because I grew up landlocked and fish was disgusting. Fish was ridiculously nasty. There was no water. There was no water. There was like lakes and nasty rivers, but they were like contaminated and nasty, and I wouldn't dare eat fish in the landlocked. Now, I did, however, when I moved to the coast, I ate fish No, salmon's fish, isn't it? I think I ordered fish once at a restaurant. It was incredible. Seriously, I was like, whoa. Oh my God. It was, what's that fish called? Sea bass. It was incredible. Incredible. I think I only had it one time though. And then I had a phase in my life, definitely a phase where I was like salmon. Other than that, I don't think I've had another fish. I had this white one. Oh God, it was so disgusting. It wasn't even in this country. I was like on vacation. Oh my God, it was horrendous. Anyway, I haven't had a lot of fish in my life, so I haven't had exposure in that way. But Tenzin, growing up on the coast her whole life, has had her fair share of fish. So she had quite a bit of, probably still does have a lot of healing to do from that. Let's read one more, and we're going to end off on examples of aluminum exposure. Speaking of which, many people bite the metal caps on pencils, which is aluminum exposure. Damn. Aluminum is everywhere, especially in the kitchen. When we simply handle aluminum products, the oils from our skin extract and absorb toxic metal particles on a nanoscopic or even smaller scale. When we eat out, that food was often prepared with aluminum pots, pans, and utensils that were scraped and worn, sending particles into our meal, plus our leftovers are served up in aluminum takeout containers. Aluminum is also a common ingredient in cosmetics and sunblock and sneaks into tap water. When you drink off the top of an aluminum can, you're getting aluminum from that process. You also get aluminum exposure simply from holding the can. People often think they're safe with aluminum cans because of the thin Epix coating inside some cans. Once they're told, hey, those cans are lined, you're safe, all doubts about aluminum toxicity drift away. Poof. People think this lining means aluminum won't leach into their beverage, yet all cans expand and contract. Placing aluminum cans in the refrigerator causes the metal to contract and weaken the liner inside the can. Then when you take the can out and handle it, that can starts to warm up. Maybe you're even out in the sun, and that warming means the metal expands quickly, pulling apart the liner inside the can. This is why you hear countless stories of people tasting metal in their canned beverage, even when there's said to be a liner present. Liners also disintegrate over time on the store shelf if not purchased soon enough after manufacturing. The liners get eaten away by the liquid within the cans. Yeah. Let me underline that, because the liners get eaten away by the liquid within the cans. And immediately my head goes to soda. Highly corrosive. Highly toxic. Absolutely insanity that it is even legal to be on the shelves. And let's just stop there. All right, if you're interested in listening to this book, because we are already, what did I say, chapter 20? We are well into this book. So if this is your first time watching a video or listening to this video, go ahead. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give myself a like. Go ahead and give me a subscribe. And go ahead and start from the beginning on how to heal your brain. All right, peace out, you guys.